Unwilling to bow down to the Trump tariff threats, Brazilian president has said he would rather call the Chinese premier or the Indian prime minister rather than calling on President Trump. For background, after imposing tariff threats on Brazil, Donald Trump loudly claimed that Brazilian President Luiz Inacio Lula da Silva can call him anytime to discuss these tariff rates. However, the Brazilian leader said he would not call Trump to discuss tariffs because the US leader does not want to talk, but added, and I'm quoting, I will call Xi Jinping, I will call Indian Prime Minister, I won't call Putin though because he cannot travel. But I will call many presidents, unquote. India, Russia, and China are part of BRICS, a coalition that the US claims is working to weaken the US dollar. Trump has threatened countries supporting BRICS policies with an additional 10% tariff. Furthermore, Brazil and India are also being targeted for their oil and other purchases from Russia, which the US claims is being used to fund Russia's war on Ukraine. Lula said Rio de Janeiro would instead use all available resources, including the World Trade Organization, to defend its interests. Bilateral tensions between Washington and Rio de Janeiro have recently escalated following the US decision to slap a 50% tariff on Brazil to fight what Trump has called a witch hunt against former President Jair Bolsonaro, who is on trial on charges of plotting a coup following his election loss in 2022. Lula referred to the day the tariffs were imposed as the most regrettable time in the bilateral history between the two countries and said his government was already taking action to strengthen foreign trade with other nations, including BRICS partners. Quote, in 2025, we will resort to all possible measures, starting with the WTO, to defend our interests. In fact, the government was already taking action to strengthen foreign trade and generate new opportunities for domestic companies before the change of administration in the United States, Lula said, speaking at an event in Brasilia. Despite the growing tensions, Lula said he would still invite Trump to COP30, the UN climate change conference in November, which will be held in Belém Pará. Quote, I will not call Trump because he does not want to talk. You can be sure I will call Trump to invite him to COP30 and find out his opinion on climate issues. I will be kind enough to call him, he said, according to local media reports. India-US relations seem to be stressed as well after Trump decided to slap 25% tariff on New Delhi. Amid the United States tariff threats over Russian oil imports, US President Donald Trump has claimed he was unaware of Washington's uranium and fertilizers trade with Moscow, a point New Delhi has highlighted while defending its Russian imports. He also indicated increasing duties on nations continuing their trade relationship with Moscow, but did not disclose any number for the same. When a reporter during a White House briefing asked Trump what he had to say about the uranium and fertilizer imports from Russia to America, while America has been chastising other countries like Brazil and India for their trade deals with Russia, Trump said, I don't know anything about it, I will have to check it out.